Hello everyone and welcome back to Scorpio Tech. Today we're going to be taking a look and unboxing the Vankyo Leisure 410 video projector. Just a quick note before we get started, Vankyo were kind enough to send this product out to me for testing, but this is not a sponsored video, therefore all thoughts and opinions are my own. So let's get this started. This is the first home projector that I've ever got my hands on, so I was excited to see what was in the box and more importantly what the projector is capable of. In terms of packaging, I was incredibly impressed. Within the branded cardboard sleeve there is a well-made two-tone carry case for the projector and its peripherals, making this a very portable device. The projector is also capable of 1080p but does run natively at 720p. It can also cast a whopping 180-inch display on a wall. The projector also has 50,000 hours lamp life and a vast amount of compatibility for smartphones, PCs, consoles, TVs and more, thanks to a number of inputs including HDMI, AV, VGA, USB, SD and that kind of thing. The Vankyo projector is priced at £105 on Amazon, so let's take a look if it's worth your money. So inside the carry case we are greeted with paperwork including a handy quick start guide that explains the basic setup and usage procedures, as well as a more in-depth user manual that explains the various connection methods. Next in the case we have the projector tripod stand. Although made from what feels like cheap plastic, the tripod stand does a great job at remaining stable thanks to its widespread legs and grooved rubber feet. This further enforces the portability that this projector can offer, as having an included tripod means it can be set up in any location. The top of the tripod is also tiltable, so you can get the perfect angle. This combined with the adjustable focus ring and Keystone create the perfect projection. Next up we have the included infrared media remote. This remote has all the functions you would need, but it does require two AAA batteries that aren't included in the package. Aside from that, the remote is sleek with good quality rubber buttons. In terms of the provided cables, we have a standard 1.5 meter HDMI cable, as well as an AV cable and a 1.5 meter UK power cable, which in my opinion is a little on the short side, as the projector won't typically be sat next to any wall sockets. Lastly, before we reach the projector itself, we have a small adjustable kickstand which screws directly into the bottom of the projector. This would be used to adjust the angle of the projector if you do not wish to use the included tripod. So finally it's time to take a look at the Vankyo projector. It has a classy yet simple colour scheme with a predominantly glossy white finish combined with black and grey accents. The projector has a fairly small form factor too, which is surprising considering how many connection options it has. On the back of the device we have a HDMI in, infrared receiver, AV port as well as a headphone jack, which is a nice inclusion. All of this as well as a Keystone adjustment wheel to ensure you have a perfectly level and non-distorted image. On the side of the device we have the power socket, TV aerial, VGA, USB and SD card slots. On top of the device we have a focus wheel, power indicator and all of the options you saw earlier on the media remote. This is as a backup in case you either lose the remote or run out of batteries. Now looking at the front of the device, we have the Vankyo branding at the front as well as a rubber cap that protects the projector lens from any dust or scratches. The projector does also have sound, which can be controlled via the remote or projector, although I opted to use external speakers as the internal speakers lack bass in my opinion. The cooling fans in the projector are not as quiet as I'd like, but when you're watching a movie, playing a game or watching a TV series you can't hear the fans anyway, so this isn't a major issue, at least for me. Here's a short clip just to remind you of what was included inside the case. So of course we had the AV cable, which is nice to be included, the quite short power socket. We also had the 1.5 meter HDMI cable, and the kickstand as well as all the various paperwork and the media remote. Not forgetting the projector itself of course. Hooking up the projector took less than a minute. Simply connect the power cord to the device and wall socket, and then select your preferred input method. In my case I chose the HDMI cable from my PC in order to test out some Netflix TV series and movies. I didn't require the tripod for my projector placement, so I screwed in the kickstand to the perfect height and then powered on the device, which was shown by the indicator changing from red into a flashing state and then finally to blue. To quickly show you how sturdy the tripod actually is when used, even with applied force it remains in place thanks to its great design and the rubber feet. If you'd rather use your tripod instead of the kickstand, then that's no issue at all. Simply screw the tripod into the right slot on the bottom of the projector and then you're good to go. Once I'd got everything in place, I turned out the lights, closed the blinds and adjusted the focus and keystone on the projector to cast the image on the wall. From the display settings on my PC, I then changed the projector settings to 1920 by 1080 at 60Hz, which is its best possible output quality. So let's test it out. Before we take a look at some samples, I'll quickly show you the projector settings. You can select from a number of presets, as well as adjusting the image quality exactly to your liking. You can do this by changing the brightness, contrast, sharpness and more. For optimal usage, all other light in the room must be eliminated, as even with a little light being cast, the image did fade very quickly. Whilst the image quality here didn't blow my mind, for this reasonable price you can have your own home cinema. It's ideal for those that are avid movie watchers and travel regularly, or for someone who wants a more immersive experience than watching on a laptop, monitor or TV. Before I end this video, I'll show you a few short samples from some shows and movies to give you a feel of the quality that this projector can produce, and hopefully allow you to make your own mind up about whether or not it's for you. I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm trying out a new production style, so I'd like to hear your thoughts about it. Thank you again for watching. I'll hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.